So we've all heard the rumors about the weather in Washington state, that it's rain, and even more rain. And the question is this true? And is it true specifically for the lovely town of Anacortes, Washington? If you're curious about moving here, or you're just visiting Anacortes, or you just want to know what the weather's like here, this video is for you. I'm real estate broker Leah Courage, and today we are going to do a comprehensive deep dive on the weather throughout the year in Anacortes, Washington, and how that impacts you. Before we get started, I don't just make videos. I sell real estate in Anacortes and throughout the whole North Puget Sound. So if you're watching this and you're thinking about moving here or selling property here, or if you know of someone who might benefit from my expertise as a real estate professional, don't wait, reach out today. My information is below, and I can't wait to connect with you. So let's get started. In a word, the weather in Anacortes is mild. Here in Fidalgo Island, we enjoy a mild seaside maritime climate, which means that we get to experience the beauty of all four seasons, but without the extreme temperatures. So what do I mean by that? Well, the summers are typically warm and dry, and the winters are cool and wet. It rarely gets sweltering in the summer months, and it's rare to see snow in the winter. And if extreme weather hits, it usually only lasts a day or so, or maybe a few days maximum. So let's break down the numbers. In the summer, the average highs range from the mid 60s to the mid 70s Fahrenheit, which is totally perfect for outdoor activities. I may be biased, but I believe that the summers here in Anacortes are some of the best you can find anywhere in the United States. We don't get the bugs that other parts of the state or the country does. We don't get the humidity, and it almost never gets too hot where it's burdensome or dangerous to go outside. And the summertime outdoor opportunities are endless, from boating to hiking to bicycling to windsurfing. You get the idea. During the winter, though, the temperatures generally range from the mid 30s to the mid 40s Fahrenheit, rarely dipping below freezing. While we definitely see the majority of our cloudy days during the winter, the great thing about the winter here is that it's really mild, and that means that you can still get outside and enjoy outdoor activities here in the colder months. The wintertime actually happens to be my favorite time to hit the hiking trails with my husband here on Fidalgo Island, because there are almost no people on the trails and the scenery is still green and gorgeous. But speaking of clouds and rain, the rain here is definitely something to consider, especially if you're coming from a sunnier state. Anacortes receives about 26 inches of rain annually. Compare that to San Francisco's 18 inches, Los Angeles is 14 inches, Phoenix is 8 inches. And while that may sound like a lot, it's actually less than Seattle's 38 inches of rain a year, making Anacortes considerably drier than the city. We also have more mostly sunny days than Seattle at 111 sunny days per year versus Seattle's 88. So why is that? It's because Anacortes is located in the Olympic rain shadow, which is a unique weather pattern that creates more sun over a particular area of the northwest part of Western Washington. Because of our location on the edge of the rain shadow, it's actually quite common for Anacortes to be in the sun with blue skies, while all the surrounding areas are cloudy. It's a great perk of living here. Another interesting aspect of living in Anacortes is the variation in day length between the summer and the winter. In the peak of summer, around June, we enjoy up to 16 hours of daylight. On the longest day of the year, June 21st, the sun comes up a little bit past 5 a.m. and it sets just past 9 p.m. and it doesn't get totally dark until after 11 o'clock p.m. This means long, beautiful days in the summer that are perfect for boating and hiking and camping and all sorts of outdoor fun. It also means that you'll probably need to invest in some blackout blinds, especially if your bedroom's faced east. However, in the winter, particularly around December, daylight drops to about 8 hours, which means that the sun rises at 8 o'clock a.m. and it sets at 4 p.m. The shorter days can definitely be challenging for people moving here from the southern states, where the sunshine is plentiful and the days are longer in the winter. But while the winter days are shorter, the mild winter temperatures still allow for plenty of outdoor activities. And if you're so inclined, there are winter sports galore right next door in the Cascade Mountains, with several ski resorts within a 90-minute drive of Anacortes. So how does Anacortes weather stack up against nearby cities like Seattle? Well, Seattle, being just about 80 miles south, shares a similar climate, but with a few differences. As I mentioned earlier, Seattle receives significantly more rainfall than Anacortes. Plus, in the summer, Seattle's urban environment can lead to warmer temperatures due to the urban heat island effect. For example, when it's in the 70s in Anacortes, it's usually in the high 80s in Seattle. The same goes for the winter, but in the opposite direction. When Western Washington gets hit with a snowstorm, Anacortes usually gets far less snow than Seattle, and sometimes Anacortes won't get any snow at all. The reason? We are surrounded by water, so the climate here stays much more temperate and even keel. The wind is another important element of Anacortes weather. Anacortes does experience a fair amount of wind, especially in the spring, fall, and winter. These breezes are generally pretty gentle, but they can become definitely stronger near shorelines and in particular neighborhoods like downtown Anacortes and Skyline on the northwest side of the island. We definitely get our fair share of windstorms in the winter, and every once in a while it causes the power to go out. If you're in city limits, power outages are rare and they're dealt with very quickly. If you're located out in the country, though, out in the county on Fidalgo Island, it can occasionally take a few days even to get the power back on. So my recommendation, if you're at all worried about storms and power outages, invest in a nice big propane generator. If your home isn't wired for one, that's okay. Any electrician can add wiring for a generator to your panel. One more thing that clients always ask about is fog, because they hear that we have a similar climate to San Francisco and think it must be common. Fog just doesn't happen that much, but it's most common for the fog to roll in during the spring or fall months. And if it does get foggy, you can rest assured that it will probably burn off by midday, revealing blue, crisp, clear skies. So when's the best time to visit or move to Anacortes? Well, if you love sunshine and long days, summer is definitely the season for you. The weather is perfect for enjoying the outdoors and exploring the festivals and soaking in the stunning views. If you prefer cooler, quieter times, spring and fall offer mild weather and fewer crowds. Winter, while cooler and warmer, still has its charm though, especially if you enjoy a cozy, misty atmosphere, or if you want to romp around the woods pretending to be the characters from the Twilight franchise. If you have decided to move here, there are a few tips for new residents adjusting to the Anacortes weather that I have. Invest in a good rain jacket and waterproof shoes. They'll be your best friend during the rainy season. Embrace layers, meaning clothing layers. The reason is that the weather can change quickly, so it's good to be prepared. For the occasional snow day, you want to invest in some good long johns for base layers. One of my personal favorite brands is Smart Wool. In the summertime, don't forget the sunscreen. Even on cloudy days, the UV rays can still be very strong. And also, when in doubt, head over to one of the many REIs that we have in Western Washington and ask the always super helpful staff what they recommend for different seasons and different activities. If you're thinking about making Anacortes your home, or you have any questions about living here, I help people just like you buy and sell real estate every single day here. So click the link below to get in touch with me. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more videos and insights into living in the North Puget Sound. My name is Leah Courage. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.